Yo, what's up, guys? How's everybody doing? I don't know. I feel like I'm quiet. Hang on, let me turn myself up a little bit. I feel like I'm quiet. All right. How's that? Is that better? I feel like it's a little bit better in my headphones too. Yo, I'm just chilling. I know this current screen that you guys are seeing is not the most flattering. I'm waiting on Josh and Jonny to get in. Hope you guys are doing well, though. Hope basketball was enjoyable. I think we're all recovering from the slap last night. I think we're all still recovering from that. Yeah, I hope you guys are doing well. I'm excited for this episode. We'll break down the Final Four. We got some fun baseball conspiracies, some basketball. We have all the conspiracies, Josh.
The clock is ready to go.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Johnny's not, but who's surprised?
Who could have thought? Who could have imagined that the time that he set could not make?
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
It's all right.
Yeah, no worries.
Oh, we'll be fine.
Yeah.
I'm hoping we're on stream right now.
Yeah, we are.
Hoping to do something special for the stream. I don't know if it's
Oh.
going to be possible this next Monday. Might be the Monday after.
Okay.
But remember how I did that Dr. Pepper, that hot Dr. Pepper?
Yes, I do.
I have one in the works that
Oh.
should be coming soon, provided it doesn't sell out for 3 or 4 weeks in a row.
Okay.
I won't tell you what it is.
Yeah.
It's been on my TikTok For You page. I don't know if it's hit yours, but
I haven't been on TikTok recently, so maybe not.
good. So I have something special coming. So hopefully, we'll see if that works
It's
out. But
to clarify,
it'll
the
be a
something
stream.
special is not that you show up to my door and slap me and then turn around and walk away, right?
I promise that it is not that.
Okay, that's
Even though, man, I bet you that's great. That's great footage. That is fantastic content,
good. Yeah.
if I've ever heard it.
Twitter was made for nights like that.
Literally everyone. You see an event like that, and then everyone on Twitter collectively cracks their knuckles and goes, "Finally."
Yeah.
I have not. It's been a long time, and maybe just because we're so desensitized to it, and that's a different. Podcast.
Yeah, that's a different podcast.
But the so perhaps due to my desensitization, I was actually even then I was shocked at the amount of takes one could have on one single event.
Yeah, for sure.
I should be doing work. I am doing work, and in between that work, I am in fact looking at like 46 tweet long threads about why this is representative of one thing or another, and it's been comprehensive.
Yeah. Yeah, it's wild. It's wild.
It is. This is why I'm single. That way I don't even have to worry about it.
That's right. You don't have it. You don't have to worry about it.
No one. You don't have to worry about keeping my wife's name out of your mouth because she don't worry about it either.
Oh my gosh, dude. That's insane. It's crazy. Like, I was working on stuff till like pretty late last night, and so I was like zoned in, not looking at Twitter, and then I checked my phone. I was like, what?
Who in the heck?
Yeah, that was wild. That was
I
wild.
can't, and I'm still not 100% convinced that it wasn't staged.
I know, right? Like, it looks
Because it's
real,
the
but they're also the best actors in the world by
They're
definition.
also literally one of the guys won an award for being the best actor that night.
Correct.
So
Correct.
what do you do with that?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Oh boy. Let's see here. And I have this fun thing. See, I have a billion things that I could be following. One of the things is super interesting to me. I just don't know if it would make good podcasting.
Okay.
So, you know how like everyone's like, oh, movies derivative of whatever, like this Batman isn't true to the source material or whatever. And back in 1895, I believe, yes, a guy whose name I'm not going to bother pronouncing right now, because I think he's French, but if he isn't, not in the mood. He came up with the 36 plots any movie could have, any book, any TV show. There were only 36 narrative scenes. Narrative situations, he calls them.
Do you have it pulled up right now?
Dramatic situations. I do.
Okay, give me like one or two, and I'll see if I can find a movie that clearly fits that narrative. Because and this is coming from someone that doesn't watch a lot of movies. I feel like I can do this.
Yeah. Deliverance. Someone who is, you need the unfortunate, the person kidnapped, the threatener, and the rescuer. The unfortunate has caused the conflict. The threatener is to carry out the justice, but the rescuer saves from the unfortunate. Movies such as Deliverance, the 1972 American survival thriller film. I would assume that seems like Taken, and all of its sequels.
Yeah, I was gonna say Taken or Tangled, even, which is a bit of a stretch, but I think that fits.
Revolt.
Okay.
Main characters are a tyrant and a conspirator. The tyrant's accrual power is plotted against by a conspirator. Example: Julius Caesar.
Oh, okay. Sure.
Here, I won't give you a hint on this one. I'll just give you the characters. Yeah. Daring enterprise. Okay. You're gonna need a bold leader, an object, and an adversary. The bold leader takes the object from the adversary by overpowering that adversary.
Wait, say that last part again.
Yeah. The bold leader takes the object from the adversary by overpowering the adversary.
My first reaction was Iron Man, but I don't know if he fits the last part. That's what it was going well, and then the last part was like, no.
Wikipedia suggests Lord of the Rings.
Oh, because
that was an object.
Okay, that was probably too obvious. Yeah.
Powering is a little bit. The overpowering is a little bit not quite.
Yeah, right.
Or murderous adultery. That could be fun. That's like, I don't even need to give you the list of that.
That's just called. That's the Bible, is what that one is.
That's the Bible. They recommend. What does Wikipedia recommends? Bunch of things I haven't read.
Yeah.
Clytemnestra, right? Clytemnestra, Aegisthus, and Double Indemnity.
Okay.
Oh yeah, Jonny, we were just talking. Welcome, by the way. Thank you for being here. We are so glad to have you. We've been talking about the 36 plot lines that every movie, book, TV show ever has had. There are only 36 ways to tell a story.
Oh, okay. They don't have all 36. It's just like there are only 36.
Correct.
Only 30.
Always have.
Some guy wrote a book in 18.
Been.
Always has been. Self-sacrifice for an ideal. The hero, an ideal, a creditor, or the person thing sacrificed. Example: the gospel. Fantastic. Good job, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Adult crimes of love,
Captain
dishonor
America.
Ambition, conflict with a god. Mistaken jealousy, erroneous judgment, remorse. They say born supremacy. Interesting. The culprit wrongs the victim or commits the sin and is at odds with the interrogator who seeks to understand the situation. There it is. That's born.
There's only 36.
There's only 36.
That's
guys.
amazing. That's amazing. You did not pause. There we go. All right. Well, I think I'm ready to roll if you guys are.
Think so. Now I'm ready.
I am good.
Cool.
Very good.
All right. Yeah, I'll get it started. By the way, hello, YouTube. Thanks for being here.
Hi, YouTube.
Welcome to the Fifth and Goal podcast. My name is Aaron. I am joined once again by my good friends Josh and Jonny. It's episode 57, and it is a busy time of the year on the sports calendar because we've got March Madness to talk about. We've got Final Four coming up. We've got Major League Baseball coming up, and there's been quite a bit of news on the soccer front. That's all coming up on today's episode. But first, Josh, what's up, man? What's going on?
This is the first time in I feel like maybe a month where I can record and I don't have to worry about a thunderstorm happening.
There you go.
Texas had its 2 weeks of spring, and yesterday it was 91
Are you serious?
in the shade.
Oh my
So
gosh.
I hope you enjoyed me recording during the Texas spring because it is over. It is now 90.
Oh, and it was just snowing in Ohio 2 days ago. Ooh. Wow.
We have plenty of heat if you need a little bit of it. We'll give you like 20 degrees.
Yeah, I think it'll get here by next week, but that's pretty wild. Well, glad you're doing well. Jonny, what's up?
Soccer's going, soccer's rolling,
Yeah, it
so
is.
we're good.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, you're coaching, right?
Coaching soccer.
Nice.
Out in the snow on Saturday. It was brilliant.
Were you really?
Yep.
Oh,
out in the snow Saturday morning, 30 degrees.
That's so funny because my wife and I were driving, just doing a couple errands on Saturday. And we're like, the poor suckers that are sitting out there in the snow. And little did I know that was you. So that's. Did your team at least make it worth it? Did they win some games?
No, we weren't playing in a tournament.
Just practice? Oh, that's even worse.
Yep.
All right. Well, I respect the hustle. I respect it. Yeah. Well, we will get to some soccer news, like I mentioned, in a bit because, a good U.S. victory. But there's a lot more in the whole soccer landscape to talk about than that. But let's just start, guys, with March Madness. We have the 4 teams, and it's funny, and this happens more often than not, where you have a year of crazy upsets. You've got 4 double-digit seeds in the Sweet 16. And by the end of it, your final 4 teams are Duke, North Carolina, Villanova, and Kansas. You have 4 blue bloods. And in some ways, it's nice because then you're getting 2 heavyweights going up against one another. Of course, we do get the Duke-UNC rematch, but before we really take a deep dive into that, Jonny, just general thoughts on the tournament, especially the Sweet 16, the Elite 8, the games that we have not talked about. Was it, outside of obviously the matchup that everyone's talking about, was there anything that stuck out to you in particular?
As much as we love the Peacocks in St. Peter's, all good things must come to an end.
Yeah.
And that certainly is the case in March Madness. Even when you've had teams like VCU or George Mason make the Final Four, that semifinal usually turns ugly as well. And so as sad as I was to see them go, Aaron, you're absolutely right. This is typically how this works. You have 3 seeds that are usually a mixture of 1s, 2s, and maybe 3s. And then you might have 1 outlier seed. In this case, it happens to be a blue blood in North Carolina, who's an 8. That's not typical that it would be a blue blood. But in fairness, North Carolina is seeded very properly. They are just playing their best basketball right now, with Love playing very, very well. The Elite 8 matchups really were a little bit of a disappointment in my mind. The Sweet 16 games were great. Elite 8 just not very good. But hopefully that means we're coming up on some fantastic finishes in the Final Four. And I know most people are really excited about a Duke-North Carolina matchup in the Final Four. And I think on the other side, though, I think we're going to have a great game between Kansas and Villanova. Hopefully Villanova just has enough bodies to put out there. That's my main concern. But I'm excited about that game too. Completely different paces and styles in that Villanova-Kansas game.
Yeah, I think we're set for, like you said, 2 tremendous games, and then I hope a tremendous championship as well down in New Orleans. Josh, I have to ask, are you rooting for Kansas? Because this time last week, I had to scroll to the second page of our 5th and goal bracket challenge, and now you're sitting at 9th with a chance to probably get 2nd if Kansas wins the whole thing. Are you a Jayhawks fan this Final Four?
Listen, I know that I should probably have some sort of hatred towards Kansas, being a blue blood, being a team that has a history. I believe if you're counting pre-tournament days, they have 5 championships.
I believe that's right.
I believe 3 tournaments, 2 pre-tournament, but hey, they earned them. I'll count. And so there is the temptation to be like, no, but who else am I going to pick? And this is why, and I want to transition into this because we may as well, before we actually preview Duke UNC.
Okay.
I'd like to pull out my conspiracy corner clock.
Oh, yes.
Set to loud. And I want to talk about guys, I believe that St. Peter's was unfortunately a distraction from what was really going on.
Uh-oh.
Duke UNC, this is the first time they have ever met in the tournament.
Which is kind of crazy, actually.
It is.
Which
Yeah.
is crazy. You are correct, Jonny.
That's actually crazy to
Actually
begin
insane.
with, that they've never faced each other before. I think that's actually like the bigger thing that I'm like, whoa, really?
How's this never happened?
Like,
And let me
just on
tell you
accident.
why. The first time that they do is a Final Four game. The first time that they do is Coach K's final year.
Mm-hmm.
You saw those ticket prices on StubHub. Bad seats are going for $1,000. This is the
that'll go up.
absolute. And yeah, I was gonna say you better get in now before those.
It's
you have
Monday.
a week tickets. Yeah, exactly. You have a whole week. This is after a lackluster 2020, where there was no tournament, and the bubble of last year's tournament. The NCAA needs to create some buzz and some excitement. So you get the lowest seed historically, and we're going to say the bigger upset since UMBC over UVA. We talked about that already. You get them to go far, and everyone starts rooting for the Peacocks. They the Peacock, and they won during what is now St. Peter's Day.
Correct.
They won on National Peacock Day.
Yep.
And those were cool coincidences, right? No, those were setups to distract the populace. In fact, they were slowly advancing UNC and Duke through the tournaments. No one was going to talk. No one was going to worry about it. And up until now, no one has talked about the potential of a Duke UNC actual final. This is the final game Coach K might play in if UNC does a repeat.
No,
However, and that's the second part, Jonny, because it's really hard to beat a team back to back. Really hard to do that even in rivalry games, especially with UNC Duke. These guys are basically tied up.
Yeah, that's true.
I believe UNC has one over Duke right now, technically.
Overall in the series, maybe.
Overall in the series.
Yeah, you're right though, Josh. It's really close.
And so this is a conspiracy to get Duke into the championship to win everything for Coach K's final year.
Mm-hmm.
They're putting him up against UNC one last time. This is the third act. This is Rocky, I don't know, pick one, where he got real knocked down, and he's going to come back up, and when you least expect it, take the final victory.
The funny thing is, I think again, I've gotten mostly everything wrong about the tournament, but from where I sit now with these four teams, I'm expecting that. I'm expecting Duke to win the whole thing.
Yeah, are you kidding?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The storyline's there. Everything's there.
There it is.
Yep.
When we got to the Elite Eight, my first thought was, that's going to be the four teams, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Like, we're going to,
Yep.
amidst all the chaos, I just looked at it. I was like, we're going to have Kansas, Villanova, Duke, and North Carolina, aren't we?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Like, aren't we? And I thought maybe, and if not North Carolina, it'll be UCLA. And that's not a big difference there either. I was like, gosh darn it. Like, that's what the tournament does most years, though. At most, you get one outlier, typically. One. So.
Well, and that's the thing. You need, when it comes to longevity in the tournament, we can talk about our St. Peter's and full props to the coaching staff and the players there. To win tournaments, you need a little bit of a been there mentality. You know what what to expect in a sense. You know what it's like to almost lose, so you know how to pull back and make adjustments that actually might work versus trying to figure something out in the moment. And these Blue Bloods, these guys have all been here before multiple times. This is nothing new to them. And so that's not, it might be boring from a narrative perspective, which is why they're trying to trump up this whole Duke UNC thing. But, and I'm obviously talking about big basketball.
Right.
But, honestly, it's probably just Coke Zero. It's Coke Zero.
Gosh.
Just trying to get more ads out.
Dude,
there
okay.
it is.
Clearly,
Josh,
Coke is better.
The GOAT, though.
Okay, get out of here, Johnny.
Sorry,
no,
what?
you're done. You're fired.
Hey.
Look,
Nope.
Coke is
Nothing is
objectively better than Pepsi, but darn it, guys,
Come on.
all of your branding recently has been very Pepsi like. Stop. Go back to the polar
Stop
bears.
it.
Go back to just the regular sugar that will eventually kill everyone.
Did you know that
no one wants
that
the Coke Zero?
Coca-Cola
Also, Josh,
invented
why aren't
Sam-
they? But why aren't they? Like, why aren't they advertising? What is it? The Coke Starlight? or
Yeah, the one that
whatever?
tastes like space.
it's a
I've
limited.
never
it
even
has to be-
seen an advertisement for it, and normally Coke is really good about like, here's
I didn't
orange
realize
Coke,
it was a different.
try orange
Yeah.
Coke, or like, I don't know, something random. Maybe there's gonna be a Coke watermelon. Like, that sounds bad, but sure, throw it at me. Like, that's what we do during March Madness. It's not like, hey, here's Coke Zero and regular Coke. I want you to debate the goatness. What does that even mean?
What is
What-
no one? It's like I love my grandmother. Thank you so much for being there. It's like her trying to like figure out when I say like Tom Brady is the GOAT. It's so goated with the what again, honey? Like it's
Yeah.
not. It's
Right.
like it's a boomer in some high rise in Atlanta.
Some
Going,
60
what are the kids?
Yeah.
Some 65-year-old guy who hasn't actually.
It's you know who it is,
touched grass
guys.
In like
You know
30
who
years.
it is. They called in Skip Bayless. That's what happened.
Ugh.
That's what happened.
They called in,
and he
their
showed
boomer
up. He showed up
intern.
to their headquarters and gave them this awkward pose and pointed to his Jordans to say, "I can't ever lose" or whatever he says. And they're like, "Cool. What should our saying be for this new drink?" And then he's like, "Well, Michael Jordan is the GOAT." Even if LeBron plays for 50 more years and wins 40 championships, Michael Jordan always. And then came out with some saying about goatness, and that's what Coke went with. I'm convinced Skip Bayless. It's his fault. I'm convinced.
Skip does have
Okay.
good shoe game though.
Yeah, but why are his poses so uncomfortable? They're so uncomfortable. I mean,
I think it's because
I
he's
have-
shorter than you think he is.
possibly. I have severe secondhand embarrassment when I see those posts. Anyways, we've gotten completely off the rails, which is good, and I feel like that's fair for a conspiracy. Here's maybe the opposite of conspiracy, and it's just the sad truth. Jonny, I'll kind of throw this to you. What happened to the Big Ten? You have 9 teams in the tournament, and you don't get a single one into the Elite Eight. Now, I understand that a lot of those teams were lower seeds, but there's no excuse for not getting a single team in the Elite Eight. There's not an excuse for not winning a title since 2000. Like, is there something the Big Ten is doing wrong?
Yeah, I think we're just overvaluing the Big Ten. Like, I hate to say that at this point,
sure.
but we give them the benefit of the doubt too often. Like, Tom Izzo hasn't even done a whole lot in March Madness since the year they knocked off Duke and Zion Williamson. Like, Michigan State used to at least get a team to the Final Four.
Yeah.
That was tradition with Izzo. If you stayed all 4 years, you'd get to at least one Final Four. That hasn't been the case anymore.
No.
The only school in the Big Ten, and I hate to say it, that's really been consistent in doing at least something in the tournament is Michigan. Other than Michigan,
Yep.
what does the Big Ten have to show for itself lately? Ultimately we must be overvaluing them. We must be overvaluing the Big Ten, and just like you could say the same thing about some of those middling SEC teams.
Yeah,
in
that was the
football.
other
I think
conference
we're
I was
doing
gonna
some
bring.
of the
Yes.
same thing
Yep.
with the Big Ten when it comes to just, oh, well, Michigan's probably really good, and Michigan State is a blue blood, so they're really good, and Ohio State must be halfway decent, which Ohio State normally is, and Iowa, here you go. And it's that Big Ten tournament run also just drains you. If you make a deep run in that Big Ten tournament, you're done. Like, look, the SEC champion, Tennessee, done immediately.
I agree, but
Like,
then you also have
first
Duke,
weekend,
who went all
Iowa,
the way
done.
to. I agree. You also have teams like Duke that did go all the way. They didn't win it, but they played as many games as Virginia Tech did, and here they are. So I understand. I think generally, and we've said this, in episodes past, statistically, it is perhaps more difficult.
Yeah.
But I'm done giving them the pass even for that. Like, at some point, and you could have this exact conversation with the Pac-12 in football too. But
It's both, though. I
Yeah.
think it's both. The Big Ten schedule sucks. And I don't know exactly how to fix this. And COVID has not helped the last couple of years, which has probably made it even worse. But the idea of playing 3 games in 7 days on a consistent basis is madness when you have teams all the way from New Jersey to Nebraska. They're not NBA players. They have classes. They have school. They have others. They're 18-year-olds They have a lot else going on. They're not 25-year-old men who are being paid and this is all they do. Like, there's a lot of wear and tear there with these guys. And so I think they are worn down by the time the season gets there. But then at the same time, I think they're overvalued anyway. And the Big Ten, here's the biggest reason. Who has won games this tournament? Good guard play, make free throws, and that's it. That's really it. What does the Big Ten always have a lot of? Fantastic bigs and some great wing players. Iowa has a million wing players. Keegan Murray is brilliant. Bohannon can shoot the lights out of the gym. Ohio State has Liddell and Branham. Purdue has Ivy. And, Illinois has Coburn. All these great players. No guards. There's no guards. There's no guards on these teams to keep up with the likes of, those really good Big East teams. Those Big East teams have guards for days. They have lots of high quality guards. And in the tournament, you need a guard who will settle down your offense, can break a press, will not panic. They don't even have to be a high volume scorer. Look at Colin Gillespie on Villanova. But they have to be able to run the offense, be stable, be calm in those moments of panic. And they have to be able to make a couple key baskets in the game. And then you have to make free throws. The Big Ten has some good free throw shooting teams. I didn't see it in this tournament. A lot of teams lost games in this tournament for bad free throw shooting. And they're not even necessarily bad free throw shooting teams, but they were bad that day, and that cost them the game. And so those are two key elements. For the Big Ten specifically, though, point guard play, huge issue.
Johnny, that's a really good point, because I even look at a team like Miami, which would have been, by the way, the third ACC team in the Final Four.
Insane.
And honestly, I haven't watched enough of Miami to even know their names, but watching Miami play, they've got a bunch of guards who play point guard who are just zooming up and down the court, just tremendous defensive pressure. I know that second half in their Elite Eight game clearly did not go their way. That is not what they drew up. But what they had done previous to that was they had made life miserable for opponents on the offensive end. They have guards that are lightning quick that can get to the rim. And they didn't really have a bunch of household names, but just the team that was put together that had all the pieces. And I think that's the big thing, Johnny, to your point, that I think some of those Big Ten teams are missing. As a Buckeye fan, we kind of lamented the whole season that, man, this Ohio State team got some fun players. They literally don't have a point guard. They've got basically a wing player acting as a point guard, and Jamari Wheeler did his best and was a big contributor to Ohio State. But at the end of the day, you're right. It did not work. And it's crazy that Purdue, who has a 7'4" player and another backup center who's really good, could not beat St. Peter's. St. Peter's shut them down because they could not break the St. Peter's pressure. Now, it helped that the Peacocks shot tremendously. You have to in order to string together the upsets that they did. But it's crazy, especially watching the North Carolina game. I think if you're Purdue, you're probably not feeling great after the St. Peter's loss. But man, you are feeling horrible after watching North Carolina do what they did to St. Peter's. Yes, of course, part of it was that the luck ran out for the Peacocks. They could not buy a shot. North Carolina was clearly determined and destined for the Final Four. But wow, man, you have to feel so bad, Josh, as you have alluded to. But man, you have to feel bad if you're Purdue. And again, that's not taking anything away from St. Peter's, but wow, Purdue. No. That might be one of the worst losses of the tournament based on just the matchups alone and how that game should have gone on paper in theory, right?
Absolutely.
But it didn't go that way. And give credit to St. Peter's.
Aaron, and part of the reason I didn't like Duke going into the tournament was because I didn't think Roach was good enough at guard. He's been excellent.
Yeah.
He's been excellent. North Carolina, Love has been incredible. They lose to UCLA normally in that game. He went berserk. UCLA's game plan against North Carolina was let Love shoot the threes. He won't make them. I think he had 33 points, and he was draining the outside shot, and that continued against St. Peter's. If he does it against Duke, which I don't think he will to that extent with Roach guarding him, they'll win. They'll beat Duke. If Colin Gillespie is able to do his thing against Kansas, they'll win. It's guard play.
Kansas, Remy Martin.
So important.
Kansas grabbed the best point guard in the Pac-12, Remy Martin, and he's been he's listed at 6 foot. I can tell you he is not 6 foot, and he's been incredible for Kansas. He's been so fun to watch. So I mean, yeah, you're absolutely right. And I feel like that's kind of the trend we've seen for the last few years. Like, this is nothing new. It's just kind of reinforcing maybe some of the thoughts that some of the teams we've seen win the championships in the past, I guess. So, but yeah, I think that theme is going to continue on to the Final Four for sure. So, Josh, yeah, we'll see what your Jayhawks can do. You might just be sitting second in the fifth and goal bracket challenge by the end of it. I will say, I'll give a quick standings update. Our first team tied for first is a bracket named Coach K. Just heads up, I don't think I know who you are, so if you win, you might need to rename your bracket or let me know that you've won. Second, or tied for first, also Dotson Cuts from Twitter, and actually just straight up third, Chloe Bowling, who Jonny can attest to, entirely filled out her bracket based on color, and that just shows the beauty of March Madness, I think. So we'll see what happens with all that. Should be a tremendous Final Four. We will, of course, be breaking that down a little bit next week. I should just also, while we're here, set the stage for the next few episodes while I'm thinking of it. Next week, guys, we'll have a little bit of a baseball preview because we'll have baseball coming up next week. The week after that, we will have, what do we have? I'm drawing a blank. Oh, we have NBA playoffs the week after that. And then the week after that is the NFL draft. So that's kind of just a snapshot of April episodes for you. We've got some really big events coming up. Of course, the Final Four being one of the biggest. Of course, maybe the biggest sports events ever on the calendar, maybe outside of the Olympics, but maybe even including the Olympics, is the FIFA World Cup. And we've seen World Cup qualifying, Jonny, ramp up. Start by talking about the USA, because wow, what a win yesterday.
Yeah, so let me set the stage kind of for everybody then, I guess. If you're not familiar with World Cup qualifying, it's separated geographically. So you don't have teams from like the US going over to Europe to qualify. So for the US, we're in CONCACAF, which is North and Central America, including the Caribbean. Europe does their own thing. South America does their own thing. Africa, Asia. We all have our different organizations that run it. So for CONCACAF, and every section has different number of teams that actually can make the World Cup. So in CONCACAF, we have 4 teams that can get into the tournament. All right. And in these 4, so right now, Canada's actually run away with it. It's probably their best team that they've had in 50 years in Canada. It's kind of a revelation. So great job. Good for you, Canada. Right now, tied for second, we have the U.S. and Mexico. And so that's still actually tied after last night as both teams won. That's not a problem, though, because right now, just below, we have Costa Rica. Now, before last night, though, Costa Rica and Panama are both in range of knocking out the U.S. U.S. is playing Panama in Florida. Huge match. U.S. got them right off the bat. Took him out 5-1 right there. Just a curb stomping, which was so good. If you do remember the last World Cup, last time we were qualifying, U.S. went into the last night of qualifying. All they had to do was get a draw against Trinidad and Tobago, and they blew it, losing 2-1, and we missed out on the World Cup in Russia. This time around, we're coming down to the last 2 games of World Cup qualifying. And in this qualifying, you do go to every country and play a road game, and they come to you and you play a home game. So you play everybody twice. So we just beat Panama. We're in a really, really good spot. With Canada's going to have that top spot. No problem. Doesn't matter. U.S. and Mexico are tied for second. So that's second and third. That's the 3 places. 4th place goes to a playoff, potentially. So that's how that works. They'll play a playoff with a team actually from Asia to determine a last spot in the World Cup. 5th is out. So right now, with that win, the U.S. is actually going to be playing Costa Rica. And as long as the U.S. does not lose by 5 or more goals, they will be in the World Cup. So let's not mess around with that. Let's actually just win or tie the game, fellas. Costa Rica is on a mad streak right now, though. They really looked like they didn't have a prayer to make the World Cup. They're looking okay right now. They're looking okay, sitting in that 4th spot. Not bad, not bad. They'll probably be in that playoff against one of the East Asia teams. So that'll be really, really cool to see Costa Rica have that opportunity. But if they beat the U.S., they have the potential to vault in with a Mexico loss or a Mexico, because if Mexico loses, Costa Rica would tie. And if with a win over the US, it'd be really complicated actually. Costa Rica wins and like Mexico also loses somehow, it'd actually be a three-way tie for second. We go to goal differential though, and that's what the critical part of the US winning 5-1 against Panama. That matters, guys. That matters in soccer. That's a huge to add 4 goals to your goal differential. So the US is sitting really, really well. Even if they did lose, their goal differential is superior to Mexico and Costa Rica. So we're sitting really well. Most likely Mexico will win their game. They're facing El Salvador, I believe. So that is most likely Mexico will win, but we would still be sitting very well with Costa Rica. So it's not done yet, but we're looking good. Their final game's on Wednesday night. So I encourage you guys to check that out. 9:00, I believe, is the kickoff for that game. Hopefully the U.S. seals their spot there in the World Cup. And then I believe this weekend on Saturday, we will be finalizing the World Cup groupings.
Wow, that's
so
exciting.
We'll go ahead and get to see that. That's coming up this November. It's going to come up quick. It's going to sneak up on us with football, I'm sure.
Yes, it will. That's very exciting. Jonny, thank you for that breakdown. That helps a lot, actually, because I've not been super tuned into that. So that's a really good breakdown. Josh, the last really big soccer tournament we had was the Euro Cup. It was called Euro 2020. It was played in 2021. And there were some great moments from that tournament, but there was also one of the scariest moments we've seen in soccer in a long time. And that was when Christian Eriksen collapsed on the pitch with a heart attack. They essentially resuscitated him on the field. And unbelievably, basically a year later, he's back playing for Denmark. I mean, I couldn't believe it. What a story.
Truly. And that, I mean, injuries like that, I still remember, I believe I was watching it, Shazier get his, what ended up being career-ending injury. And you, in that moment, are so, like, at that point, the game doesn't even matter anymore. Like, who wins or loses, that comes secondary to making sure that that person on the field is alive and able to recover. And so, like, we know that that's not those types of injuries, even those random things that occur, like, you aren't guaranteed to get back on the field at times with that stuff. And so it is, I mean, we talk about career end Achilles injuries and MCL tears and all of this, where to see someone come back and to compete at that same level is just a miracle. And like, I know, like, cool, the fans are happy that, you know, their player's back, but like, you know, for him, I believe that, you know, I can't imagine that he's anything short of grateful and like just amazed that he's able to pretty much pop right back up, all things considered. So
it's absolutely insane. The craziest thing too, on top of that, he scored 2 minutes into the game upon being put in. I know I think he made his actual debut back in professional soccer like 4 weeks ago with whatever club he plays for, and then obviously made his international kind of re-debut. But I mean, that's insane. Jonny, we watched that game together.
Hey, Coke Zero. Hey, Coke Zero.
Yep.
That's what goated is.
There
not
you
some
go.
Not some beverage.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, Jonny, we watched that game together. And I mean, we basically literally watched a guy die on the field for all intents and purposes. They brought him back to life. It blows my mind that he's back already. It's great. What an incredible story. It's great to see him back out there. But I didn't think we would ever see this moment. And here he is, and a big key for Denmark.
No, absolutely. Aaron, I think, you know, we talked about it, and we even said like once we actually kind of fully, and I don't know, it was hard to fully grasp what was going on.
Yeah.
But when we had some understanding of the seriousness of the situation, at least, I think we were like, oh my gosh, like we just wanted him to be alive at that point. Like we did not know. And I think afterwards, in the days after, I think we were all just kind of like, well, yeah, his soccer career is done. I'm glad he's okay. Yeah. Hopefully this doesn't affect him like for the rest of his life. Like hopefully he's fine. And so I'm in awe that he's back at all.
I know.
Forget about less than a year. I didn't think he would ever play again. Modern miracles in medicine are definitely a big piece of that. Absolutely love seeing that. It's cool to see him do it also on the national stage
Yeah.
for Denmark,
Yep.
be able to do that in that way. And so I mean, that's awesome. It was such a good story. So good to hear. Hopefully you can keep it going and be healthy in that way.
Yeah, I mean, just incredible. Definitely wanted to give a shout out to him.
Mhm.
All right, guys, we know well what St. Peter's did. Made it all the way to the Elite Eight, all the way there. First ever 15 seed. Actually, it would have been the first 12, 13, 14, 15, or 16 seed to make the Elite Eight. But guys, what if I told you that the biggest upset this month did not happen on the basketball court? Jonny,
Not.
what in the world happened to Italy? What happened?
So let me set the stage again.
Yeah.
Italy. We're going into Russia. Qualifying.
That's not Italy.
We're qualifying for Russia 2018.
Mm-hmm.
And if I can be completely honest, the U.S. never has any excuse ever
Right.
to not make the World Cup for this reason alone. We have 4 spots to play with in North America, Central America, and the Caribbean. Europe is brutal. Most of these teams in Europe, Wales has a phenomenal soccer program. Wales has one. Scotland, Northern Ireland, Macedonia, they make the World Cup in Euros.
Mm-hmm.
It's brutal. Austria just got knocked out also. And they would kill over here. They would qualify for the World Cup almost every single time. So we have no excuse, nothing to complain about over here. Europe and South America is just horrible. It is hard to qualify in Europe. So let me start with that. Give that qualifier. Going into 18, Italy also didn't make the World Cup in Russia. Huge disappointment. Fire everyone. We're restarting. Blow the team up. We're starting young. We're starting fresh, and we're going. If you follow the podcast, we've had Euros the last year. And so in Euros, Italy won, took out England in the final in PKs. It's a revitalization. Italy won every single match. Here's the problem. Italy won almost every single match 1-0. 2-1, 1-0. This team is probably the best defensive team in the entire world. They can't score. They got timely, fortunate breaks and scoring and penalties in Europe, and in a tournament format, that can be very effective. And if you get hot, you have that momentum and you go. And they got to play some games at home as well. Let's be real about that.
Yep, for sure.
Now we're in qualifying again for the World Cup. You expect they just won the Euros. They're going to be fine. You assume they're going to make it. How Europe works is they do have those automatic qualifiers. If you win your group, you're in. But if you finish below that, you do get to qualify in playoff format. And so that you do have 3 spots open based on that. And it's just a drawing to see where you go. So Italy was playing North Macedonia, and theirs struggling to score. It's 0-0, 91st minute. North Macedonia's just keepers just punting it up the field. Fortunate bounce off a header, drops right to a North Macedonia player's foot, and picks the side netting perfectly to beat Roma to the side. Goal for North Macedonia. They're going berserk. Great for them. They were a surprise team to even make the Euros this last time 2 years ago. Great feeling for North Macedonia, but Italy's done. It's just a playoff format. So now North Macedonia actually has to beat Portugal to make the World Cup. So best of luck, guys. Probably not, but best of luck. But Italy, huge disappointment. I mean, I don't even know what you do with your manager at that point. You just won Euros, but you couldn't even qualify for the World Cup. So we'll see. But you have to find a way to score, and you have to find a way to finish it. This is as much of an uproar as there was for the US not making it last World Cup with Trinidad and Tobago, it happening in Italy and now happening in Italy twice is a travesty. And they won't stand for that. So it'll be interesting to see what happens in Italy in these next 2 years to prepare for Euro qualifying because they're already out. They're done. They will not be participating in the World Cup.
Crazy. It's the best of times and the worst of times for Italy, and really nothing in between. That's pretty crazy. All right, along that same line of thinking, let's go back to the U.S. because we've got to make our pick of the week, and we should run it back real quick because Josh, congratulations, you got your Duke pick correct. They did, in fact, beat Texas Tech. And now they're in the Final Four.
It was like a 6-week drought of me not maybe able to pick anything.
Yeah,
I'm happy to.
I feel like the points have been slow for all of us. And the current scoreboard does read Jonny 31 still in the lead, myself with 30, Josh at 29, so just 2 back. And to guarantee, guys, that one of us actually scores a point, which, by the way, Josh, you can score another point this week if Kansas wins the championship.
Yes.
Jonny and I's Gonzaga pick is long gone. So, and we didn't even talk about that. That's probably a conversation that we don't have time for. The fact that Gonzaga once again fell short. Anyways, so what we're doing this week, guys, is we're picking the U.S. versus Costa Rica game, but we're picking it with the score, and the person who picks it closest wins. Guys, I'm a dumb American. I did not know the thing about the 3-way tie with goal differential, meaning that the U.S. is basically in, unless they just decide to score all of the own goals on purpose to somehow, I don't even know. Yeah, literally, there's no way they don't get in my mind. So I have got the U.S. 3-0, even though they probably don't have the motivation to play as hard as a team like Costa Rica does. But I'm just going to say they keep the momentum rolling from a big-time 5-1 victory. Give me 3-0 U.S. I know I'm going to be wrong, but go America.
I am also a dumb American. However, I feel like I'm probably even a dumber American because you at least know about things like goal differential. I just looked at what you had already put in our group notes and went, you know what? Let's modify it a little bit.
Oh man, that's my own fault.
So I am.
Look, if you're ever on a podcast with Josh and you're doing a show where you make picks every week, and Jonny and I make this mistake every week. Don't actually write in what you're going to pick until after you pick it. Every week.
Don't say it.
Now, to be fair, Jonny and I are still in first and second, so whatever we're doing is working. But yeah, Josh will cheat off your homework.
I led for like 13 weeks straight.
Well, that's true. That's a good point.
But
anyways,
again,
continue.
You guys got smart to me, made me start picking first.
Yeah, that's right.
So I'm going 2-1 United States.
Okay.
That seems reasonable to me. Hey, Mr. Soccer, what's your pick?
I got a draw, 1-1 draw, and let me tell you, I will run with the draw and be totally fine with it. The game is being played in Costa Rica. Costa Rica is playing for their lives. They have to at least get a draw just to stay ahead of Panama and make sure that they at least get into the playoff. They are more desperate. At the same time, U.S., I really think they're going to be focused, and going into this game with that same focus, it's going to be hard to have that same intensity as Panama. You're at home, fans, this is really the game you have to win to make sure you're not in desperation mode against Costa Rica in the finale. I think they'll play well, but this is a young team, and they are still learning. And again, Costa Rica is a solid squad who's hot right now, and they are fighting for everything here at the end. So I'm going to go 1-1 draw, and I will be more than happy with a 1-1 draw. That ensures our spot in the World Cup.
Very nice. Well, look, it's nice that the U.S. will be there. Jonny, remind me, is it next World Cup that the field expands? Am I right about that?
Yes.
Okay.
The next one in the U.S.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Ayo.
North America.
Ooh.
They finally gave us one.
We need to start saving our pennies now because will Columbus host?
We'll see. With that many teams,
yeah,
they're probably going to throw it in the football stadiums, and we'll see who actually gets to host a cross. Right. But I mean, at a minimum, I think Columbus, it would be in the Horseshoe probably if it was in Columbus.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So there's the thought process. They've talked about Big Ten stadiums for college football just because they host more people.
Right.
As long as they think they'll sell the tickets, of course.
Oh, I would think they
certainly
would.
will.
Yeah. I mean,
there will be a bunch
soccer
of
is
games
definitely
in
growing
Texas.
in the US, right?
Yeah.
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 Texas, California, people will be coming in from all over the world. We'll have people in Mexico and Canada too.
Yep.
Canada's very easy travel to and from Canada and the US, though. We'll have games in New York, of course. Like there will be the big normal hubs of Philly, Boston, New York, Atlanta on the East Coast. But I mean, there are plenty of talks of trying to get a couple games in the Midwest also. So
Oh man, I hope that works.
I hope so. I keep
Mm.
saying, hey, just put a group in the Midwest and put them in the Big House and State College and Columbus, and away we go. We got 100+ seat stadiums sitting right here, not too far away from each other. So I hope that they're open and willing to do that.
Yeah, that'd be pretty amazing. That'd be pretty amazing. All right, well, we will we'll check back in a little bit when we know those groups for the World Cup. We'll break it down. I'm sure there will be a group of death. We'll see which teams end up there. There's always a group of death. This is the rule. This is the rule. Yep. All right, guys, it's time for what we're following, and I'll just go ahead and kick things off. We're going to switch to the NBA because I don't know if you guys have been paying attention to the Eastern Conference in the NBA. If you blink, the standings change. Right now, the Boston Celtics have gone from the play-in tournament to the 1 seed right now. They're tied with Miami. I think technically they own the tiebreaker, so they are the 1 seed in the East with just a handful of games left to play in the regular season. Now, it's interesting. The Celtics, I love the Celtics. I really like Jason Tatum, but they did lose Robert Williams to a knee injury, and that's a big deal. He's a big-time defender, their center, so I'm a little worried what that means for them. But I'll just read you guys the standings and the games behind because it is crazy. Right now, and I should clarify, this is on Monday, March 28th, because this will probably change by the time you guys hear this episode. The Boston Celtics are in first place. Miami Heat, as I mentioned, tied kind of for first. 0 games behind. The Milwaukee Bucks, half game back. 76ers, half game back. Chicago Bulls, 3.5 back. The Toronto Raptors, 4.5 back. And they're the 6th seed. So that means 1 through 6 within 5 games of one another. And the play-in tournament's the same. The Cleveland Cavs, 5.5 games. Charlotte, 8. Brooklyn, 8. Which, yes, Brooklyn, the 9 seed right now. Atlanta, 9.5. It's absolutely crazy. Brooklyn could, and I should point out too, the team that's out right now is the Knicks. They're 14 games back. So they're a good 4.5 back of Atlanta, who is the last team to get in if the season would end today. It's absolute chaos right now in the East. I fully expect those teams to swap places. Brooklyn's got, if they want to avoid the play-in tournament, Brooklyn is 3.5 back of Toronto. So they could certainly make a run. Now, Kyrie Irving is now playing home games for Brooklyn, so that's interesting. But Brooklyn's losing games to teams like Memphis without Ja Morant. Like, I don't know. And in case you're wondering, in the West, here's the difference really between the East and the West. The 10 seed right now is Atlanta. They are 37-37. They're exactly 500. The 10 seed in the West are the Los Angeles Lakers, who are 31-43. They are 12 games under 500, and if the season ended today, they would make the playoffs. So just kind of a tale of two conferences. Of course, you probably have some top-heavy teams like Phoenix, like Memphis in the West, but overall, I think it's safe to say the East is better than the West, and I don't remember the last time you have been able to say that in the NBA. It's been a while. The West has really dominated for, it seems like 10 or 15 years. The West has been stronger, and doesn't seem like that's the case anymore. So regardless of how this shakes out, guys, I'm thrilled for the NBA playoffs, which start in about 2 weeks once this episode comes out. I think you're going to get some crazy good series, and heck, maybe we will see a Brooklyn-Philly series at some point. One can hope, right? One can hope. The other thing, Hard Knocks, guys, is coming to the Detroit Lions. What could possibly go wrong?
That's easy.
Yeah.
I'll be really honest with you. I thought they'd already been there. That's okay.
I don't think they have. Which,
Definitely
you would think they would have been there already, to be fair. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Who am I thinking of? Oh, well. Guys, Nick Castellanos. This might be too soon. But
Wait, quick.
honestly, for him,
Wait. Hang on. Before you say anything, does anyone have anything they need to apologize for? Just real quick. Okay, good. Go ahead, Josh.
Is he currently playing right now?
Let me look.
During this recording time.
Let me look. We have to make sure.
Who are the Phillies playing? Let's just check.
You got to make sure.
And there's a reason
anyone in the chat need to repent.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, maybe.
Hey, chat,
oh gosh, I know. Yes, they're going to be playing live while you're listening to this. That's what it is. Okay.
That's exactly.
Okay. We're good. Josh, go ahead.
Guys, because Nick Castellanos has never homered at a good time ever, or alternatively, as we've revealed, Nick Castellanos reveals things when he homers. Honestly, honestly, even when he hits. So today, when I say today, I mean yesterday. Castellanos' first hit as a Philly comes during a time when the Blue Jays broadcast crew was reading a UI apology on air. I believe it was like a batting coach or something. It honestly doesn't even matter because they are barely done with the apology. And Nick Castellanos steps up to the plates, pops one off. I think it's just a single or something. It doesn't even matter because Nick Castellanos has a history. This isn't the first time he's hit at an unfortunate spot. It's not the second time. This is not even the third time. This guy knows how to summon the worst moments ever to hit a home run. The most famous of these, back in, I don't have the year in front of me, but it was just a few years ago.
Yeah.
During a time when a guy named Tom Brenneman, between the Reds and the Royals, he was caught on the hot mic saying something very mean, to put it mildly. It was rough enough that he basically, after the commercial break, came back and issued his resignation letter, when it ended up being his resignation, on the air. I have the transcript. The transcript itself is the most beautiful thing in the world. I made a comment earlier tonight that I guess went out over the air, and I am deeply ashamed of. If I've hurt anyone out there, I can't tell you how much I say from the bottom of my heart. I can't say it like this. So very, very sorry. I pride myself and think of myself as a man of faith. There's a drive into the deep field by Castellanos, and that'll be a home run.
Oh man, I tell you what. If you go on anything related to Nick Castellanos on Twitter or anything baseball related, someone in the comments will post that, and you think it would get old, but it does not get old. People keep liking that. Old. So if you want easy likes on Twitter, I'm telling you right now, copy and paste that Nick Castellanos thing. Just quote it under anything. Doesn't really matter. You'll get likes. They will find you.
The best timing. Again, he did this in, I believe he did it against the Royals. Now, what's cool about the Royals is at this time they were actually honoring. I'm trying to find the specific guy's name because his name. They were doing a memorial for this man. No. He was he was involved in the organization somehow. I believe even the front office. His grandson was currently involved either as a player or as an assistant or something. Literally, they have this beautiful eulogy for the man, and they can't even finish the eulogy because Nick Castellanos steps up to the plate, knows it's his time, and in the middle, I don't even know. Yeah, I'm not even going to give the guy's name because I don't want to disrespect it. Yeah. Says, whatever, man, pop right off as they're giving the eulogy. The announcers keep like, "Hey guys, we are so sorry. There's never really a good time to give a eulogy as they're announcing. The color guys giving the apology, and the play-by-play guys trying to talk about going up on a 4-0 run. It is the best timing. And there's actually two more times that we haven't gotten. It is not just during apologies, during eulogies. Castellanos has also hit homers. I believe he hit a homer. The same. This is not a bad timing, but he famously hit a home run the day. He hit. Well, we'll see. He hit a home run May 1st, 2011. Do you know what happens the morning of May 1st, 2011? Johnny, I'm surprised. That was when President Barack Obama announced that we had captured and executed Osama bin Laden.
Oh my gosh. I
That
probably
same
should know that.
day.
That's terrible that I don't.
Castellanos. I can't even pronounce his name anymore. It doesn't even matter because
Yeah.
he steps up in honor of America.
Yeah.
Hops off a beautiful, beautiful homer. And finally, again, this wouldn't have been during the, unfortunately, ended up playing at Citi Field in New York. A death had been recorded that day in the field. And that night, the Castellanos knows that it is his perfect time to pop off another home run. And I think there's actually 2 or 3 more. We're going to run out of time. There are threads, Twitter threads full of this stuff. This guy either is the curse or is simply the revealer of all things.
Josh, I think it's the reveal part, because you know what else he revealed this offseason? The Reds' ineptitude in their front office, and mostly owner. I shouldn't say front office because I don't want to give the GM crap for how bad the owner is.
Sell the team.
That's what he revealed, that the Reds aren't going to do anything. I mean, it's actually insane. I know we talked about this 2 weeks ago, and I'm not going to go down this. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to stay strong, guys. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to rant about this on my own time, but wow, the Reds. I mean, it's crazy. There's national radio people saying it's bad. Like, you know, it's bad. It's bad. Anyways, and that'll be a 4-0 ball game.
Now we get to see all the dirt that the Phillies have hidden. Phillies, listen, guys, if you have dirt, you better fix it now or fix it when he's not playing.
Yeah, Bryce Harper's gonna punch someone in the dugout, and then Nick Castellanos is up at the plate, and they're gonna be, the announcer is gonna be, oh my gosh, Harper's lost it. And there's a home. Yeah, it'll be something. It'll be something.
He also ended up homering the day that I believe it was like Albert Pujols ended up like going through like an injury. He I can't even find it, because again, compared to what we've talked about, it's minor. Ended up homering literally the inning after. I believe it was Pujols had to like get taken off the field because he suffered some sort of injury that was going to take him out for a few weeks.
By the way, shout out to Pujols, who's coming back to the Cardinals for his last year in the majors. So a little retirement year for Yadier Molina and Albert Pujols. And look, I'm no fan of the Cardinals as a Reds fan, but I got to admit, that's pretty cool. So good for those guys, even though I will boo Yadier Molina till the day I die. Great catcher. Fantastic. No doubt, first ballot Hall of Famer, both of them. We'll still boo Yadier Molina. I'm obligated as a Reds fan. Yeah.
It was Tatis. It wasn't Pujols.
Okay. I mean, it
may as well be.
It doesn't matter.
Mine as well.
Yep. All right, Johnny, what you got?
Yeah, so for what I'm following is just another hill that I'm going to die on, and if we're just being honest, things are modernity is ruining everything.
Oh, wow.
All McDonald's look the same as Taco Bell's, as Panda Expresses, as Panera Breads. They all look the exact same now. What have we become?
Wait.
Now, the Outback Bowl is changing its name to the Tampa Bay Bowl.
Yeah, that's bad.
And I hate everything.
I wasn't sure where you were going, but I'm with you on this.
Now, how am I supposed to know who wins a bloomin' onion and who wins coconut shrimp appetizers?
Yep.
What's the point of playing the bowl game?
Why would I even go? What
There's
else? There's
no point of ever going to Outback Steakhouse ever again. There's no point to it, and there's also no point in the Tampa Bay Bowl because it's no longer the Outback Bowl.
You know what?
Rejected everything that we stand for is
know what? Duke's Mayo Bowl
lost.
Duke's Mayo, buy another bowl. Have 2 Mayo Bowls.
Hey, yes.
Since obviously Outback can't handle one.
Okay, Duke's has to have another condiment though, right? Like they've got mustard, right? I know they're Duke's Mayo.
They have to.
So they have to sell something else.
They have to.
Yeah. All right, I have to ask.
I guess we are at the point where we have to Google something in the middle.
That's true. We are. Johnny, what's worse? And I know your answer to this, but I have to ask. What's worse, the Vanderbilt rebrand or the Outback Bowl rebrand? Because the Vanderbilt rebrand, and I think that might have been last week, and we didn't even talk about it.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
They brought back the star part of it, though. Is that correct?
Oh, did they cave
Did they
to
bring back the
online
Star?
bullying?
Did they pull a Sonic?
I think they did cater to some online bullying because
Good.
I'm pretty sure they might have brought like the star back. Now they still changed the V,
Yeah.
but
Oh,
that
they
makes
did.
it less.
They
That
did
makes
bring
it
it back.
less bad. That makes it less bad. So I'm not going to completely like attack them. But it's not good, Vanderbilt. That's also still not good. I'm not saying you can't rebrand at all, but that's not great. Um,
Mm. It's
I'm
something.
still going to say the Outback Bowl branding is worse, and that's not even because I hate like the Outback Bowl logo, because who cares about the bowl logo? But
It's just it's what am I trying to say? It's just
right.
the
It's fine. It's
Yeah.
whatever. I hate the name change. I hate it with a burning passion, and I am angry.
yeah. The fact that Vanderbilt actually caved a little bit, I completely agree now. Outback Bowl change, way worse. Way worse. Not even close.
Way worse.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm never gonna go to Outback Steakhouse ever again. Did I
Yeah.
go usually? No. And now I never will.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yep. Oh
This
man.
has like 3 or 4 different types of barbecue sauce and like 7
Oh.
different types of mustard. They could buy 2 more bowls.
Duke's
Yeah.
Barbecue Bowl. That
Let's
Duke's
sounds
Barbecue
great.
go.
That sounds fantastic.
Come on. You can dump a Gatorade bath of barbecue sauce.
That actually sounds amazing.
They have Carolina vinegar barbecue, Carolina
Ooh.
gold barbecue, and Alabama white. Like
They're based in Charlotte, so I think it should be the Carolina Gold.
Agreed.
As much as
yeah, I
that's
believe
not
so.
my favorite. It should be. Stay true to your roots.
Mm-hmm. Make it happen. Make it happen.
Guys. Moving on, since I moved to Texas, I've evolved past sauce. Just give me a good dry rub and like a good 15-hour smoke on some brisket. I don't even need your
Absolutely, Josh.
Mm.
That's absolutely correct.
I can confirm when I went to visit Josh in October, by far the best barbecue I've ever had. Granted, this is coming from someone that's lived in Ohio their whole life, so not a lot of competition, but
Are you saying City Barbecue is not the best barbecue in the nation?
yeah, it's 5 minutes away though, Josh. The convenience.
It is. Hey, you know it's 5 minutes. No, I'm not going to.
Aaron, you've rejected
What were you
your
gonna
roots.
say?
How could
Your
you?
barbecue, Josh?
How could you?
I was going to say I'm 5 minutes away.
Yeah,
from my
I
barbecue
know. I'm
places,
jealous.
but that's okay.
I'm jealous. Not jealous of your 91-degree weather to bring it all the way back to the beginning
Listen,
of the show.
you know
but
what? I can walk in my 90. I can walk down to Terry Black's barbecue
Oh,
in 91-degree weather. Get the beautiful barbecue, and then walk back. And you know what I have done in the heat? I have sweated off all of the calories.
that's
To
true.
and from.
That's a good
That
point.
is actually a net weight loss.
Yeah, you're right.
Oh my gosh.
Imagine that's the next 30 for 30. Imagine
What if I told you?
Yeah, what if I told you that you could lose weight simply by eating? Which isn't true because it's kind of by walking, but it sounds better if you say it that way.
Listen, it's all about the headline. All about the
It
You
headline.
gotta get to the food
gotta reel 'em in.
somehow.
Yeah. Yep, you do. Yep, you do. All right. That's where we will wrap up this episode. Guys, we really appreciate you listening. We hope you enjoyed it as much as we did recording it. Yeah, make sure you check us out on social media. Again, we've got the Final Four coming up, so we'll be tweeting about that. We're going to have some baseball previews coming up on YouTube, on our website, so stay tuned for that. Jonny, I know your mock draft is in the works. I know it's been in the works for 3 weeks. The NFL literally not relenting, not giving you a chance to breathe. But once it settles down a little bit, we'll have our most recent mock draft posted as well. So make sure you're following us on all the social medias. You can find us on basically all of them and at our website, fifthandgoalsports.com. And if you don't mind and you have not already, please consider giving us a review on either Spotify or Apple Podcasts. That does help us out a lot. And the final thing is check us out on YouTube, where we are actually live streaming our podcast recording. If you ever want to join in the conversation live, we'd love to have you here. So again, Fifth and Goal Sports on YouTube, where we stream live every Monday night, 7:30 p.m. Eastern time. So thank you to all of you that were also tuning in on YouTube. We appreciate you guys. So that will wrap us up. We will have an NCAA basketball championship next time we talk to you, and it'll be exciting to see how that all goes. Duke UNC round 3. Have fun with that, everyone. We'll see you guys next time. We at least on my recording, and I started like right as we started. It's like almost an hour exactly, like right on the
Same here.
right on the
I'm at
right
like
on the money.
59.
Yep. That'll
Good job, everyone.
chat. That's never gonna happen again. Just so you guys know. But yeah, YouTube. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight. Appreciate it. Curtis, sorry it's taken me this long to shout you out, but thanks. I know you messaged in chat earlier, but thanks for being here. Oh, here's the thought, and here's a spoiler. Well, it's not a spoiler. Here we go. Here's behind the scenes for you guys, YouTube. So here's what I'm thinking. Next week, our picks of the week will be the Masters.
Nice.
Now, what I want to do,
so
if
good at
there's
those.
time, and I think there will be, I would love to do a Masters draft where we each get to pick 3 players from the collective pool. And then obviously that gives it, because the chance of us actually picking the Masters champion, I feel like are pretty slim. And so in the spirit of allowing us to have more points, maybe we'll do a draft where you can draft 3 players. So I will, next week in the show notes, I will try to post like just a list of like best odds, so you guys can have that list available, and we'll make it kind of quick, but and I'll randomize the order, and then we'll just sit through it. But I think that'd be kind of fun. So
Oh, that'd be fun.
yeah, so we'll do that next week for picks of the week. So you heard it here first, YouTube.
Nice. Oh, boy.
All right, well, YouTube, we'll see you guys next week. Thanks for hanging out with us. Yeah, and again, stay tuned to the website and to our YouTube channel. We're gonna have a lot of baseball previews coming up. I'm working on that right now. So yeah, thanks for being here. Appreciate